Hey, what's up, guys? This is Bombshell. This episode is brought to you by Harrys.com, sponsor of a massive movement called Movember. Harrys.com, use promo code Titus for $5 off your first order. Also, brought to you by Casper.com. Go to Casper.com/Titus. Use promo code Titus and get $50 off your mattress order. And now, here with the Armageddon update, Christopher Titus.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Well, it seems that we as Americans have forgotten where we came from, which is not America. That's right. Unless you live on a reservation, deal blackjack, and make dream catchers for gullible tourists, your people came from somewhere else. And usually they came from there because of violence where they came from, or intolerance, or their religious beliefs. You know, intolerance is such a nice way of saying they were being killed because they wanted to believe what they wanted to believe. Now we have this ISIS group of pussy psychopaths that seem to be badasses when they're at a rave full of teenagers rolling and trying to get laid. Yeah, they want to attack a Marine base, though, because they are, and I say it again, pussies, they went into France. Not exactly known for their badass military prowess, France. Then instead of going after the French military, they went after people in cafes and at a rock show. The time before that, they went after cartoonists. See, the problem with these cowards is that they do what cowards do. When they meet up with an opposing force that isn't trying to have a biscotti and an espresso or dancing to the Eagles of death metal, they fold up, run away, and hide until they can find a roller skating rink or a bowling alley to attack. They are bitches and assholes and cowards and pussies. Every single one of them. ISIS started because we left the Iraqis in charge of the bases we built. You know, thinking that the Iraqis could handle security is like assuming Charlie Sheen wore a condom. So now because these dick cheese sucking arm retards are doing what they are doing, the actual people fleeing these douchebags are going to pay a price. You know, Congress passed a bill to stop Syrian refugees because they might be terrorists, but that would be like stopping the Italian immigrants because of the mafia, or the Russian immigrants because of the mafia, or Canadian immigrants because of curling. Yeah, it's not a game, Canada. It's a combination of bowling and sweeping. You know, I'm not going to start. I'm screw that. I'm going to start a new sport combining ping pong and cooking. Currently, right now, there are close to 4,000 deaths due to terrorism since 2000. That's right, 4,000 deaths due to terrorism since 2000. There are 138,000 gun homicides by Americans, though. Oh, thank God those 180,000 people were not killed by terrorists, just fellow Americans. So now we are letting people die in the desert, families, good men, their wives, and their kids. And the people that are complaining about the Syrian refugees are Americans. That's right, Americans, who are the relatives of immigrants who came to America to escape war, oppression, religious persecution, or genocide. So I guess when you ask people when we should stop immigrants, the answer is, after me. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast, and that was my Armageddon Update. I got to tell you, I am a little bit fired up about what's going on, and I can see both sides, which is always the hard one for me. With me, as always, to the right, Bombshell Rae.
What's up, people?
Your voice is beautiful. When you do those little ads at the beginning, it's crazy. And sitting behind her in the distance is the fetus. Hey!
In the stinky distance.
Wow. 23-year-olds don't know a whole lot about hygiene.
He's not 23, are you?
24.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Well, who's a big boy?
He's a big boy.
Yes, he is.
Yes, you are. He loves that. He gets all excited.
He's over there like a little baby.
His feet and his arms start waving
kicking around. He starts kicking his feet. So, I had a weird thing today. As always, I want to write the Armageddon Update, so I'm trying to figure out what the hell it's about. What do I want to talk about? There's a couple things I want to talk about. The Syrian refugee thing is bothering me because none of us want terrorists in our country. None of us want basically them get on a subway and just come into America, where we think, hey, you guys want some cookies? Hey, I'm sorry you had to be in oppression, and then they strap a bomb to their body and blow it up. Well, we have stopped. There's so many states have voted against bringing in Syrian refugees. They said basically they will not resettle them, which is really funny because once you're in the country, as John Oliver very humorously said on his show, the lines around states aren't moats full of alligators. You can just walk into the state. So there you go. I have my thing about it is I was thinking, yeah, you know what? I don't want terrorists in this damn country. But that's like saying that everybody in Syria is a terrorist instantly. You're just nailing it down. Everyone in Syria, total terrorists. That's right. If you're from Syria, terrorists. That's what they do. Like, you know, like people in Canada, good at curling. Again, I made fun of curling. My God, the stupidest sport I've ever seen. Hey, Fetus, do they play that in upstate New York, the curling?
That's Canadian exclusive.
Oh, really? Even Americans, like, even right on the border, they're like, no, bro, we're not playing that. Hey, come on, play that. Come on, here's a broom. Go ahead, do your part. Do your part. It doesn't cause brain damage like the football you're playing. Whoa. So, you know, you have to have brain damage to start curling. Where was I?
You're gonna have angry curlers writing in now.
I can bring it on. That's one group of athletes I may be able to deal with. So basically, everyone from Syria is not a terrorist. There's a couple million. This war's been going on for a long time. There's a couple million of them just living in the desert in these horrible refugee camps. And now you got ISIS just randomly blowing them up and killing them. And to me, there's a point where, as Americans, and although there's 7 billion people on the planet, and our country has 300 plus million in it, and there is no room left, I do believe we have to have some sort of, I don't know, heart, I guess. You know, I have a bunch of problems with this. I don't understand why we have to take care of the world.
Spoiler alert, liberal moment coming through.
No, it's not. No, that was the liberal moment. Now, here's now ready? Here's my Donald Trump moment.
Spoiler alert.
Why the hell do we as Americans got to take care of everybody? Why do we take care of the policing? Why do we got to let them in our country? Why we got to send them food? Why country? That's what Donald Trump said, country. You got a problem with that? All right, country. Why are you giggling? Get her out of here. Get her out of here.
Because you're a dum-dum.
Yeah. So then we got to... No, I mean that, though. Why is America... Like, I have two minds about this. I feel really bad that these people are getting... It's so out of control now. The Russians are bombing. We're bombing. France is bombing. And these people were just fucking living, man. They were just living in their homes. And Assad and all this bullshit started. And there's no social services anymore. Or, government services. No schools in Syria running, which means kids aren't going to school. There's nothing... Like, we live in our little bubble of America, and we're like, oh, man, that sucks over there. And we have no idea. Like, imagine a bomb coming in and blowing your half of your house down, and then you had to live there. Imagine that you're at school, and you're actually having real drills about missiles coming in. So they shut down the school. So now you're a kid, and you can't go to school anymore. Imagine you're a mother who's actually got 3 kids, and now... because of the bombing, has 2 kids. So I get to this thing where I'm like, I really see that. I really see how painful like that was, because it was happening in our country. And, let's say, and this could happen. Let's say Texas attacked. That could happen. Texas could attack, right? In Texas, I know some of you listen to me. You could attack. You know that. You've thought about it. You tried to secede from the Union. We got it. But let's say that happened. There was a big monster war, and our houses were getting blown up. Imagine half of our house just being just taken out. One of my kids getting killed. Don't pick. Just imagine one. I'm just talking the general. No. So I have to see, because you can say liberal, conservative, all you want. At the end of the day, I'm just a human being that always tries to figure out how do we not kill more human beings. We seem to have not learned shit. With all the technology, we're all holding our brains. Like, we're holding something in our hands that can call anywhere in the world, and basically can call anywhere, and it's got all the information on the planet in it, and yet we're still blowing each other up, a bunch of monkey-ass dumbasses. God, I've said ass too many times. I'm not good unless I write it down. Don't let me riff. That's why I've never been in an improv troupe. My conservative mind says, why are we have to pay for everything? Why are we having to let people in? Why are we having to send all these countries money? Why are we have to do it? Because I paid a lot of taxes this year. Why is all my money going to these countries? How come I'm not seeing? How come the street in my house has a pothole? I paid enough for that motherfucker.
You should go and look at where your tax dollars are actually going. What our country does with those tax dollars, and if you think that all of that money stays here to help our country and the problems that we face, then you would be sorely mistaken.
No, more than between social services and the military, there's I don't know. Pull it up, Fetus. There's 30% left. Between the military, government defense spending, and Social Security, and all the other social services, 30% for infrastructure.
And
everything we
so
need.
So let me ask you, have we already helped Syria?
I don't think anybody's helped Syria. I think we've
Financially or with military equipment.
we have sent stuff over there. Yeah, we've been fighting Assad.
Right.
So the military spending is 28.5%. Health is 20.2%. Interest on the debt is 18.7%. Other is 11%. And then we've got job training is what, 0.03%? Wait, 0.3%. Environment 1.4%. Housing 2.0%. Nutrition.
Other
2.7%.
is 12% almost. I'd like to know what other
What is other?
It's a big chunk of that pie.
Veterans benefits. How high is veterans benefits?
I like that you say veterans.
Veterans benefits is veterans? My God, everything I can't even. 3.7%. Education 4.1%.
What are you doing right now? What is this that you're doing?
I'm just trying to figure out because I'm trying to balance it. I don't think these people deserve to be living in the desert because their houses got blown up and someone's got to help. Look, if we were at the shit creek they're up, we would want some help, wouldn't we? Wouldn't we wish someone would give us a hand? Wouldn't you? If your house got blown in half. And it was constant. And you've been doing it for 5 years. How long has the Syrian war been going on? 7 years now?
I will say that I doubt, because we've never had that, I doubt I would just expect someone to come and help. That's not something that I would think would happen.
I don't think they expect it. It's been going on for so long. I think at this point they just want to leave. They just want a place to go.
So, like you, I see both sides, but
we live here and we have the shit we have, and don't take my shit.
We're at minute 12. Can I say something now? Are you ready?
First of all, I'm not sure I've clarified which side I'm on, but you go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's how I feel about it. And certainly you know that I have this whole idea of to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yes.
You know, that...
And that's America in a nutshell.
That definitely is. But I do think that the problem, and if people talk a lot about how the country is being misrun. All of our tax dollars that are going outside of the country, a lot of people take issue with. People that we are helping militarily. We've armed people that have turned against us with our arms.
Yeah, we're not really selective.
We're a little willy-nilly.
Yeah, we really are.
With our funding. And that I am tired of. And what I am most tired of, and this may sound hugely conservative, but I am most tired of all of these bleeding heart politicians saying that, oh, we have to help everyone and they're in trouble and Here's my issue. We're in trouble. We're in real trouble. There's a lot of trouble here, but it's prettier because we have media that glosses over it, and we have color TVs.
No.
I'm not saying that we live on
How
dirt
are we
floors.
in trouble here? I just want to know what you're talking about.
I would say that it's estimated right now that 1 in 30 children will be homeless in their lifetime. 1 in 30 children.
In America.
This year in America, 1.5 million children. We're talking school age and down below, infants, children being born on the streets.
Right.
You go downtown Los Angeles like I had the pleasure of doing about a month ago.
Your Skid Row trip. Do we talk about this?
I don't know. But I went to Skid Row, and it is martial law.
It's aptly named.
It is aptly named, but I will say that it is straight up District 9. I was shocked. The street signs and the street lights have been painted over, knocked down, whatever. The people are living physically sleeping in the streets. They have these District 9 kind of hut things lining as far as you can see in the middle of the street, and they are walking around your car. It is like, it's crazy.
You know what? Let's go down there and Fetus. Let's go down there, take a camera, and just shoot a little bit of it. Because you know why? Just in from the car. We will not have to put any limbs outside the vehicle. We will shoot from inside the car, and let's just put it up and just say this isn't in a major metropolitan city in America. Let's just put it up.
But nobody's talking about that.
Well,
and actually, that following week, the mayor, after I went there, the mayor went on the news and said that he's now declaring homelessness a state of emergency. And I'm like, really? No shit. No shit. And it's happening all over the country. Drugs out of control. I mean, a military, you look at probably one of my biggest issues, veterans. Not veterans, veterans. We send them over there.
I like veterans. I'm going to say it how I say it. We're talking about the same people.
We risk their lives. We say, hey, sign this blank check for us, right? And
we got you. If something happens,
no problem.
We are going to take care of you.
Then they go over there.
Yep.
They
put their ass on the line.
They
daily.
give arms, legs, whatever it is that they are forced to give over there.
Their souls, they come back with PTSD. Even the guys that are come back healthy, their brains aren't all the time. They hear a loud noise and they're gone. I'm just helping you go.
Thank you for your help. 1 in 22 servicemen come home. Men and women come home. 22 every day kill themselves. We are cutting funding. These people are on a 4-year waiting list to get any help. And these are the people that we sent over to protect places like Syria, that went over and watched their friends die, gave up their peace of mind, got PTSD, lost arms and legs. We bring them back and we're like, whatever. So homeless veterans is estimated about 60,000 right now in America. But we're all talking about Syria, and people are fighting about Syria because that is what politicians and media want us to talk about.
That's what the media's talking about. You're right. It's right in front of us. That's a valid point.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have to say, I elect Bombshell Rae for president.
Thank you.
That is very valid. All of that's very valid. The problem is with all of it is when it comes to that veterans thing specific, if you go back to the Civil War, there was still the exact same problem. For some reason, there is a disconnect between all our politicians throughout history and our military men. It used to be that most politicians had done military time. Now, these doughy, pasty-faced, fat white men that are on that stage right now didn't do military service. Donald Trump went to a military school because his dad thought he was a fuck-up. So here's what I don't quite get. I think, and you said this last week, didn't you? You said that we should have...
I did.
It should be a constitutional requirement for anybody who runs for president, man or woman, to have served 4 years in the military. Minimum. Because then at least you know...
Because you're commander-in-chief. So how can you be a commander and you've never served militarily?
Right.
I don't understand that. Then how can you say, go and risk your life for this country? I'm sending you.
You should also have to at least go through practice with the Kansas City Chiefs if you're commander-in-chief. So you have to go to military service for 4 years, and then you have to play a season with the Chiefs.
Or you can hang out and be a blackjack dealer in the casino.
Or you spend 4 years on a reservation dealing blackjack. Either way. Then you can be a commander-in-chief. I'm with you on all of this. It's goofy. My addition is goofy, but I agree. And no one's bringing that up. And how, especially now, you think one of these guys would go... with the world at constant war, because, say what you want. I've been reading a bunch of articles. This thing is starting to pop up on the news. We're at the beginning of World War III, and it's a much different World War. But if you look at it, we've got Germany's going to start kicking people in. So you got America involved. We're already sending troops and stuff. My nephew's going, and I talked to him today, and I can't say where he's going, but he's going somewhere. And he says, I can't wait, because he's a special ops. Very special. I was special ops for a while.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't.
They kept telling me I was special.
What did you do?
I played the game Operation. I was special, and I played Operation Special Ops. Meh. Yeah, I wasn't good at it. I kept hitting the A's. We had it hooked up to a car battery, so it really hurt when we played. I hate when he talks.
So how many Syrian refugees are they estimating?
30,000 that we're willing to take, or 10,000? I mean,
Titus,
there's 3 million.
How many that we're talking about?
I think, well, I just asked Fetus to look this up before we did the podcast, people. To even become into this country, to become a refugee in America, it takes 18 to 24 months. The problem with that is that you're here for 18 to 24 months. But I mean, do we keep them in a camp like we did with when the Cuban crisis happened? Keep them in camp so they get cleared? Is that what we do?
So I don't know. This is saying that just under 20. What is this?
How many refugees have been admitted to the United States?
Since 2011, it's only been 2,200.
So since 2011, 2,200 Syrian refugees. Now, and by the way, to your point again about the problems we have in our country, of all those people with 9/11 from 2000, we have the terrorists attacks in America have killed about 4,000 people. Handguns and guns in America by Americans have killed 138,000 Americans. So I'm with you. You're right. Why the fuck are we worried about these people have to go through a vetting process of 5 different agencies, and you're right. And I'll tell you what, 2,000, we take another 2,000 in over 5 years, I'm okay with that. We vet them well enough. It's families, it's children, it's wives, and I'm fine with that. How about we stop the killing of thousands of 18,000 Americans per year? How about that? Nope, can't get on that. You know why? Too much money being spent. Our politicians have too much money being shoved up their ass by the NRA and these other organizations. So basically, we're never going to solve that. So when you guys, next time you guys sit down and you go, yeah, the fucking Syrians, man, terrorism, good of it. The terrorism is done by white men in America with guns. Sorry, that's how it is. And by the way, the statistics bear it out. Now, our family, Uncle Dennis, Agent Pink Squashy, our Black Ops guy.
Both dads.
Both dads. I'm fine with those guys having guns. But this dumb shit 400-pound fuck with the hat that walked into Denny's with an assault weapon, douchebag, you have the same mindset as ISIS. You go to a Denny's with an assault weapon? I didn't see you walk into a military base with it. Anyway.
Again, ISIS. It's what the waiter at Hugo's in North Hollywood offers us in our tea.
Did you want some more ISIS?
Every time I hear it.
How much ISIS do you want?
Would you like?
I would like 1 ice.
And then he says, enjoy. When he leaves us our food.
You need 2 ISIS.
Enjoy.
Enjoy the ISIS. I have many ISIS.
So we're talking about 10,000 Syrian refugees, roughly. Okay, so currently, because we were talking about us relying on other people for help or them relying on us. Currently,
they rely on us.
12,536 homeless people in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles. Do you know how many Los Angeleses there are in the United States?
Yeah.
That size?
So
12,500 in this city.
That seems low. You sure it's only 12,000? That seems kind of low.
Yeah. Chronically homeless, not in and out.
These are just like chronically,
these are
day-to-day, everyday, old school homeless.
Straight up, long time, not diluted.
We used to call them hobos, but yes.
Here. Ain't going nowhere.
So we have 12,000 that we're not helping.
This is chronically homeless is people who are disabled and without housing for over a 3-year period. Wow. So we actually, what we're seeing when you drive up and down the 101, you see these little kind of shanty towns that these kids are living in on the side of the freeway.
It's crazy. I've never, in my lifetime, I've lived in California pretty much my whole life. And California is known as very liberal, very helpful. Yes, it is.
No, I'm saying it's not.
What I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years.
You got all like cheerleader on me. Oh, yes, it is. No,
you
didn't.
You did not say what I heard you say.
Mm-hmm.
So you just look up the side of the road and you're right. There's these weird pup tents and like yellow tarps up on the sides of the freeways, and it's crazy. I've never seen that in my life.
But I doubt that those 12,500 people are sitting there waiting for Paris to come and bail them out.
Paris? You mean Paris attacks?
No, just anyone, any other country. I'm just saying we have problems here. We have major problems here.
Yeah, so maybe we get Sweden to kick in some money to help our homeless people.
Maybe.
And maybe they can immigrate to Sweden.
That's the thing. How come no one is ever offering to help?
They don't offer us. The only time, even in France, let's just go France aside. It's a horrible thing to have in France. But a while ago when Libya had fucked with us, we wanted to go bomb Libya, and France said you cannot use our airspace. We had to fly the fuck around France because France was like, you cannot fly in our airspace. It's interesting how the world changed. And if we would just all come together, because it doesn't work, man. I don't get why all these dumbasses keep blowing each other up. It's like we now have how many thousands and thousands of years of human history to look at. And there's not one point in human history where you went, oh, that war worked. Hey, they killed a bunch of people and it was better. It never works.
No.
Economically, structurally, it doesn't work. And yet, why can't we evolve? I don't get it. Because people want power. But what is ISIS getting? How much ISIS do you want? They call them Daesh, but it means something like the Saudis call it Daesh, but it means something like it's like calling them rednecks or something.
What?
Yeah, Daesh. Find it Daesh.
I like that now that you have a little fetus. He's a little fact checker.
He is. That's what he does, man. That's his gig. And he's raised his hand twice already during
Oh
this
my
podcast.
gosh, behind me?
He has raised his hand twice. I just want you guys to know that he is asking to speak. But I'm a teacher on a lecture ranch right now, and I will get to you in a second, sir. Just let me finish the teaching.
Did you guys know that the psychiatrist in the Gerald Fogel case is linking weight loss to pedophilia?
Yeah, he basically said that because he stopped, he weight loss, and he got his, and he just changed his addiction to something else. And this is why psychiatrists just need to go away. You're a pedophile. He was fat when he was a pedophile. By the way, if he was still fat, he would say, well, he wasn't attractive, so he had to go after children because he was fat. You know, psychiatrists have an amazing way of just figuring it out. Just they can make it all sound the same. You know why? Because there's actually no fucking science behind it. That's why. There's actually no proof about it. They just go, you know what I think? I think this. Dude, shut up. That's why I stopped going to psychiatrists.
Well,
but that's how they all are, man.
that's
Again,
not the only reason.
You're sitting down with a guy in a psychiatrist chair. You're sitting down with a guy who all he had to do was get a C- in some made-up thing. There's no scientific. It's just all behavior-based, and you're saying that all human beings are exactly the same. There's no possible fucking way that psychiatrists can be correct. There's just no way, because there's no science to back it up. Pseudoscience, agreed, but no science.
You mad today?
I'm just tired of everybody being right and nobody having the balls to look at another idea. So
Well-
what does Daesh mean? Loose acronym for Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant? What?
What?
All right.
What is this? It's a
name
name
is
commonly used by enemies of ISIS. It also has many negative
undertone,
undertones. As Daesh, one who crushes something underfoot. That's it?
One who sows discord. Yeah, when they insult, they insult.
Yeah.
Hey, you are one who sows discord, bitch.
There's actually a video that they've released. It shows a Greek Coast Guard boat attempting to sink a little boat of Syrian refugees. So I'm going to go ahead and call that's too far.
Yeah.
That's too
Good.
far.
Thank you. So you're not in the Trump camp.
I'm definitely not in the Trump camp. But yeah, maybe sinking them, maybe not the nicest thing.
So do you remember what our buddy, the most interesting man in the world, said years ago?
What did he say?
About fame. Fame just plugs an amplifier into the asshole you already are. So if you're a really good person, you get really famous, you'll probably be just a really good person, use it for good. And if you're not a good person, you are going to turn into a raging dick.
Yes.
So as Trump is getting number one in the polls, have you seen what he's been doing lately?
What?
Oh my God. He said, what did he say yesterday? He said, first of all, the blacks like me. I do well with the blacks. The blacks like me. Then he had some guy protesting at one of his rallies the other day. And he basically told the people there to beat his ass. Throw him out. Just get him the hell out of here. And they started beating the hell out of him. And then, you know what Trump said? Hey, he was disturbing things. Watch the last couple speeches of Trump. There's a little Hitleriness to it that's scaring the shit out of me. He's also quoted Hitler a couple times. Then
No.
Then he quoted on. He said something about Hitler being. Let's see what Trump said about Hitler. Go, fetus, find it for me. Find me the information that my brain did not retain. Go find it. My brain is not big enough to get everything that I want in it. So find me, list it, and send it to me. Put it on the big screen, for my eyesight is failing.
Is he doing it? Oh, he is doing it.
He's doing it.
It's weird having him behind me. What's been going on back here?
A lot of hand raising.
Really?
Yeah, he's freaking out.
What's he raising his hands at?
A lot of it's about the immigrant thing. He's got an opinion. You know, you think I'm liberal? At least I'm middle of the road. You know, I'm like I do see that. I don't understand why my tax dollars are going to pay for. Obama, when he pulled all that money from Pakistan, he pulled like $800 million from Pakistan after we found the world's biggest terrorist living a mile from in a military school. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm glad he did something, but shouldn't we have just leveled it? Really? You guys didn't know that he was at... You're
becoming Old Man Johnson before our eyes. It's crazy.
Let me tell you. Here's what we should do. It's Pakistani.
It's going to be. This is what Titus Podcast in 30 years is going to be.
Yeah, we love it. Pakistan turned it into an oil lake. Then we sent over these firefighting planes, and they scooped up the oil, bring it back. Gas was 4 cents a gallon. I remember when gas was $14 a gallon. That was when that President Trump ran thing. He was crazy. What are you doing?
Oh, I'll be old. I'll be
You're
asleep.
just sleeping all the time. Turn off her mic. For God's sake.
Will he be here still?
No. By the way, the fetus got an Oscar nomination for some movie he directed. He don't talk to me no more. Tried to get a part of that movie. He told me I was an old man an asshole. He said, I wiped the ass long enough. Well, it was a quote from his assistant.
He has his own assistant?
Oh, yeah.
My
Oh,
own
yeah.
fetus.
He'd have his own fetus.
Oh. Are
So-
you going to be nice to your fetus?
As nice as you guys are to me.
Oh, well then, good.
So he basically told the guy to get. The guy started heckling. He said, "Get out of here." I get this, by the way, because I've been heckled. Will you please?
Yes, in an ensuing skirmish. Where did you pull this news from? The 1920s?
An ensuing skirmish.
Southall reportedly fell to the ground.
And in the ensuing skirmish, Southall reportedly fell to the ground, was surrounded by several white people who punched and kicked him. As security officers have Southall out of the building, he was repeatedly pushed and shoved by people in the crowd. And then the Hindenburg came in. Trump, unlike other candidates, sanctioned the clown's behavior. He sanctioned it. Then he went back to the lectern, and he started doing his speech again. Said the Republican frontrunner to the new Fox News channel Sunday morning, Southall, and the assaulting crowd, maybe that guy should have been roughed up. Yeah, see, that's how it should go. Maybe he should have been roughed up. That's literally said.
That was a Black Lives Matters protester that got
You know what?
attacked.
Is this people? Listen,
People.
I don't care what you're thinking. If you're left or right, I don't care. Look, on the podcast we want to be funny, but we at least want to be. We want to resonate with a humanness that this dude doesn't seem to have. You got this billionaire who basically Black Lives Matter. Even if you're a racist, but you're running for president, should you at least find a way to smooth that over? Like you should.
No. The blacks like him.
Yeah. He does well with the blacks. That's what he said. That's his quote. So on Fox News, Trump says, well, maybe that guy should have been roughed up. Then on his Twitter, pull up what he posted on his Twitter about black people.
Yeah, the black people are murderers, and it's got a
Black
scary, thuggy-looking black dude.
Black people are murderers. He's basically got a picture of Tupac's one of his early album covers with a guy with a bandana and a gun, and it's just basically to prove that black people kill everybody. And there's a lot of people. Here's the thing: it is out of the Hitler playbook. Jews. It's really out of the Hitler playbook. If you look, what do you see this?
Well,
Get on the mic for a second, Fetus. Go ahead.
Oh, my gosh.
He wants to rant. I can tell. He's amped. Let him be.
I don't want to. Okay, so look on Donald Trump's Twitter. Oh, thank you for letting me on the mic.
You're welcome.
So look on Donald
You
Trump's
just
Twitter.
made her really feel good that you said thank you. She
And
Well, he's
so-
been told.
so irritated up until you said thank you. Go ahead.
if you scroll down Donald Trump's Twitter, you'll see that he posted these quote unquote statistics,
Crime statistics.
crime statistics, except none of them are real. They're all fake. They're all fake statistics.
Do you know when you keep banging that on the table that they can hear that?
I am aware it was a mistake.
So the Trump thinks his U.S. crime statistic 2015. It doesn't say statistics about what kind of crime. Here's what I'm gonna read it to you, and it doesn't say what. It says blacks killed by whites 2%, blacks killed by police 1%, whites killed by police 3%, whites killed by whites 16%, whites killed by blacks 81%, blacks killed by blacks 97%. There's no correlation or connection to any type of crime. He's just what do you mean blacks killed by blacks? How what?
This is
But here, let me see what it adds up to. 97% plus 81%. I think that's over 100%. I'm pretty sure that's over 100%. Anybody? Is 81% plus 97% over 100%?
What?
I went to California public school, so I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure 97. If you add 13 to that, it adds up to 100, right?
What?
math.
He doesn't do math good or speak well.
If you just corrected his math, he should never be president, ever. He should not even be allowed to drive.
Look what it adds up to. 190.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Here he
It's
goes.
200%.
Ladies and
It
gentlemen.
fucking adds up to 200%. It adds up to 200. Look at it. I'm not lying. It fucking adds up
It
to.
does, and look at you. Who's a big boy?
I did it good. Oh, I did it good. I added numbers together. They made a number that was right. Yes.
Yay!
So basically, Donald Trump's statistics add up to 200%. So if following his statistics, black people kill 180% of other people in the world. Thank you, President Trump. Moving on.
It's
Wow.
just the problem with it is there are tons and tons of dumb people that are just going to look at that and be like, "Oh, he's so right. Look at these statistics.
Yeah. Well,
Look at these."
I think the scary thing is they should.
What was your point in being here? Like, you, not on the planet, I mean, or in this room, but I mean, you wanted to be on the mic about this,
the Syrian thing?
yeah.
Oh,
I'm dying to know this.
Yeah.
You guys,
But you did look like you
No,
were going to
no.
cry when I
By the
said,
way,
"What
you
is
know
your
what?
point
We
in
need
being
you,
here?"
because here's the thing. Weirdly enough, having you on the mic makes me the moderate because you're the far left.
I actually,
I hate you. You don't used to laugh. You have a lot of gums. So go ahead.
I was just going to say, you were saying, why is it the U.S. that needs to handle all these problems? Well, the Syrian refugees are trying to go into any country they can go to. Like,
Yeah, they don't really care.
yeah, they don't really care. It's not just the U.S. It's everywhere. So
Luxembourg.
it's not just here, like Canada.
Mexico.
Canada just passed saying they're only going to take women, children, and families. They're not going to accept single men right now. I'm not sure what some of the other foreign policies are, but that's the only point I was going to make. It's not just us. It's they're going. They just want out.
I love when, like, Louisiana says, we're not taking Syrian. Yeah, I don't think Syrian refugees are. Damn it! We cannot go to Louisiana now. We cannot get crawfish. Sons of bitch.
Is that what they sound like?
Yep, that's my best Syrian impression you've ever heard. All that. Very angry, a lot of yelling.
All of your Eastern European and Asian accents.
No, they
sound
don't.
Russian.
No, this is Russian right there. The Syrians can come here if they want, but make sure they bring their women.
Okay, now give us Syrian.
We are not going to Russia. You idiots. All right, see what else Trump has said. Go back to you're off the mic for a second. Go back.
Go back to your corner.
What else did you want to say about the Syrian thing? Go ahead. You had something else to say. Yes, you did. Come on. So you think we should just have an open door policy?
Absolutely not.
There you go. That's all I wanted to hear. Because I don't think anybody does. And when I see these people, I don't understand what MSNBC and Fox are fighting about. Nobody here, there's nobody. The most liberal, Bernie Sanders not going, well,
No.
I think we should have more Syrian terrorists in the country because they will actually add to the economy. No one's doing that. We all agree. No one, and they go through a 5-step vetting process that takes 18 to 24 months. So at one point, we just have to go. I just don't know. I'm really torn on this one, man. Do we let them all in? And then I end up yelling at the guy because I'm at the gas pump and he won't turn it on or won't give me free air, which is against the law. Like, I hate when those guys again. It's $1. No, just turn them on. He's $1. No, it's actually illegal to deny anyone free air. No, he's $1. I had an argument with a guy like that, and at one time I realized I'm arguing with a man about $1. He works for a gas company. He's making tons of money. $1. I just want some air. My tire's flat. $1. All right.
So that was it.
I mean, I just think that I'm along the same lines what you were saying. Like a white guy just shot 13, had dinner with a family at a campsite and shot and killed all of them. And
What?
Yeah. This happened. This was barely in the news, but I think it was in like Texas or somewhere like that.
Because shootings are so common that we don't even hear about them anymore.
Have we now gotten to a place?
It was just on their like a local Fox News website, but it was.
Are we to a place now where a guy at a campsite who shot everybody is getting treated the same as the dickhead who brought his guitar and played Kumbaya? No one really hears about it.
It's so hard to
It's 'cause he
tell
was
because
white.
when I pull it up, it's like the Texas Southern University shooting, or was it the Waco, Texas biker shootout, or was it? And these are all in October of this year. Which one was? Oh, or was it the Dallas one?
Do you know
with
where-
yeah.
We talked this. We are on course now to have almost 400. If on course, which is just to the end of the year. Okay, we have 365 days in a year. We're on course to have over 400 mass shootings.
So just my only point in the situation was I don't really enjoy how the media and all these people are concerned about saying, oh, it's a safety issue. We don't want to bring terrorists are going to come in and kill all of us. No refugees because we're all going to die. Like, I'm not concerned about some women and children that are scared for their lives. I'm concerned about the white man who's going to come shoot me while I'm eating a burger.
Was some governor of one of the states say this? One of the governors said this. He goes, I'm more afraid of some guy. Basically, he said, I'm going to say it way more harshly. He said, some open carry fucktard losing his shit in a Walmart.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's scarier than any
I know.
any refugee family.
It seems to me, as Americans, we have gotten to a polarized place where common sense no longer has any place in our dialogue. Everybody has picked their extreme view, their extreme side, and is sticking to it. And whether you can. I had somebody said something to me that they said, I don't believe that. And for every book that you say backs you up, I can give you 300 books that back me up. And then you go, okay, show me those books. And they go, they're out there. You go look it up. And then you go on the internet, and I tell you what, you can prove anything on the internet. That aside, I don't understand why common sense has become as rare as Charlie Sheen having safe sex, which I've already done that joke earlier. I did it.
So I think that the problem, again, I think that everybody is so worried. So I got accosted by this dude, this, charity pink shirt, clipboard, make you feel awkward on the street dude. Ugh. And I was in a mood.
Was he saving whales, or was he trying to save babies? You know what? I'll tell you. You know what? That's the next time someone asks me to save some whales, I'm gonna say, "What do they sound like?" And I'm gonna make him do. What would a whale say to this? Okay, I'll give you $1. if you'll make the whale noise for a minute, I will give you $1.
It was for a country in Africa, and he says, have you ever heard of, and he says the name of it, and I'm fairly intelligent. I've never heard of it before. Never heard of it. I was like, what? And he said, yeah, everybody says that. Don't feel bad. And I said, I don't. What do you want? And then he wants money because they're trying. It's our responsibility to save them because. And I said, hey, spark plug. And then he kind of looked at me a little bit. But my mom was having surgery, and I had already told him.
Plug?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was in a pink shirt, and he was a little too overeager. And my mom, again, I told him when we started this, my mom is in surgery right now. I'm just walking around the hospital outside trying to blow off some steam and not punch somebody in the fucking throat.
Thanks for getting in my face.
Yeah. So he proceeds anyway. Okay, well, I'm sorry about your mom. So let's talk about this. Have you ever heard of this country in Africa? And I said, what are you doing about the problems we have here? And I said, I think it's great that you're trying to help women over there. I said, and I just started to go down the problems that women in our country are having. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't the most popular.
It's like me. I just had a great meal. Like what you're doing is what everyone should do when someone brings up some money for some other country. They all need help. I get it. But like you said, we have 12. I feel like I just had the best.
And then I asked him if he's ever had to go stand on the street corner downtown L.A. and see what's happening to those girls that are sleeping on the side of the 101 and getting raped and then getting pregnant and having babies on the street that came here to chase a dream. And he's just looking at me like, holy shit.
This poor bastard. I'm going to go this morning. Look, I'm getting $6 an hour to go raise money for this organization. Let's just hope. I'll go to the hospital. You know why? Because people don't want to talk at the hospital. They're not going to give me a lecture. I'm going to go down there, and I'm just going to take my fucking clipboard and this stupid pink shirt they make me wear, and I'm going to talk. And if I get a percentage of the money, whatever my deal is, I want an easy day. I'm going to the hospital. And then you show up and basically dress the guy down.
I was grumpy. He said, well, go ahead, go read the literature, and I'll see you.
Yeah, right. At this point, he just pulls a ripcord. You're right. They don't need that much. You're right.
Finally, he goes, hey, look, I get it. We got a lot of problems here. These people are just paying me to stand out here and raise money. He finally just gave it. He goes, I don't even work for the charity. I work for a company that gets hired by charities to stand on street corners and talk to people. I don't really get this charity either. He goes, but we do other charities. I did Red Cross last month.
Red Cross is the worst.
And then he goes, I know. They have bad stuff too. He cut me off before I could even say anything.
Well, because once you started, he's like, you obviously are intelligent. You have thought things out, and everything he said, you're about to counter. So he just, shut up.
Like we could spend a month. We could spend forever just alone on Monsanto.
Yeah.
And Foster Farms and all of these companies that are killing us. I'm watching my mom die day after day. And I go to chemo every week and I'm watching people actually die.
Yeah.
And nobody is talking about that cancer rates have quadrupled since the 60s. So cancer rates are out of control. Let me finish. They are out of control. And, sorry, he just keeps trying to talk over me.
No, I was going to say, what changed in the 60s? I want you to go ahead and expound on that.
Research and medicine and cures for cancer haven't changed one bit. Not one bit. You can go back to 1969, and the average death rate for pancreatic cancer has not changed. And yet the number of people affected by it has quadrupled, quintupled, whatever. Nobody's talking about that.
So 50 years.
50 years.
Mm-hmm.
50 years. Not a change in fixing it, but the incidences are out of control. All kinds of cancer.
Well, the good news is none of those companies that are trying to cure it have made any money in all that time. That's what's great about it. It's a non-profit situation, and these companies, they're not curing it. They're not getting paid. Isn't that amazing?
It's weird. It's an odd coincidence, I think. It's probably a coincidence. But we're not talking about that because our system is so messed up. Yeah. So those people are giving money to politicians. Politicians are taking the money to keep their mouths shut, and people are dying. And the root of the problem, I really think, is there in our government. Mm-hmm. It's all about money, all of it. So people are dying. They're making money off of dead people's backs.
Do you remember when you were a kid and you had a kite?
No.
Okay. No, neither of you guys. Why do you choke your head?
It's hard. It's hard to get them up. It's like it's very stressful
right.
as a child.
And then the string would get balled up, and then like you try to wind it up.
Yo-yos too.
Yo-yos too. And you ever see that one knot, and it gets that big ball of knot where you just know the only thing to do is to cut it and then tie it back together again, right? Or burn it. You throw it away. That's where we're at right now. The problems are so big in our country that it just looks like that ball of that tiny twine that once it's tied in a knot, you'll never get it out. That's what it feels like. It's exactly what it feels like. And I think what we need to do, but how do you stop it? The only way to stop it is a nuclear weapon and change everything. The only way to stop it is like a world war that takes everybody out. Like our healthcare is effed up. Our money system is effed up. I mean, when you can get a bank gets loaned $1 million from the government, and then the bank on that million loans out 10. They loan $1 million to 10 other banks, and those banks loan out $10 million apiece on that $1 million that doesn't exist because there's only $1 million sitting in the bank. That's the crazy shit that we're living in right now. So I agree with you 100%. By the way, this podcast is sponsored by.
You know what else? You know what I'll say too, just as a final thought. You've
been on fire today. By the way.
I'm on fire, and I know I'm not funny. I'm amped. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I'm a little amped. But we are paying billions of dollars to protect our border, and it's fake. It's all fake. Everything that has to do with our government and our administration is fake. They pretend that they're there for us to keep us safe, to keep our health care at the standard it should be, to keep our food at the standard that it should be. All of these pretense to keep our military protected and taken care of. None of it's real. Right. We're paying so much money for a border patrol. They're actually called Border Patrol.
And that they aren't allowed to do anything.
And under this administration, they have lost arresting rights. They can no longer pull people over. They can no longer board buses coming across the border. And yet we're putting them in a uniform and we're paying them. And although we keep freezing their pay and furloughing them,
paying them less,
we decide that we need to hire a whole new group of them to add to the people that we're already not paying and not giving any power to. So explain that to me. And they're not allowed to protect our border.
Votes, because here's the thing. If basically our political system is so fucked up, like other countries have like 12 political parties, 7 political parties. They fight for it. We, and Prince said it best in calling it illusion of choice. We have an illusion of choice in this country. So you've got these guys. So Obama has basically said, I want to keep the Mexican vote. And he said, okay, you guys can't arrest them anymore. So basically now these people, families are living here, and their people come across the board. You can't arrest them. You can't even ask them. Here's the new rule. You can't even ask them. People don't know this about the Border Patrol. the new rule a couple years ago that was given to the Border Patrols, they can't even ask to see identification. If there is probable cause, the guy has to have a gun on a baby.
And even then,
they have to ask if it's his baby. I know that's extreme, but that's how it is. I agree. It's votes. They're trying to get votes. They want the next election. It's all about more power.
So your
and more
Border
money.
Patrol, you might ask, what are they doing when they are being paid with our tax dollars? They're being paid by our government, and yet they have lost all of their power. What are they doing during that time for that money?
Park rangering, pretty much.
Yeah, what? Exactly. But nobody's taught. This is the thing.
Nobody knows about it.
No one educates themselves about the problems in our country, but we're all very concerned with the problems in babies
Nobody wants
in
to
other
educate.
countries.
This is what pisses me off, and we've been doing this for almost 5
Schools
years
in
now.
other countries.
Right. This pisses me off when it comes to education. You know what? You've got me fired up today now, and when it comes to education, we're getting our ass kicked by almost every other country in the world. Fetus, get on the mic, raising his hand.
Oh my gosh.
It's like having a. Go ahead.
I thank you for letting me be on the
You're
mic
welcome.
So
again.
oppressive. You're so
Just
oppressive.
to leapfrog off that the education thing, it all
Yep.
leapfrogs off you guys what you were saying before with the money situation, because all this standardized testing is just a way for them to make money off
And it doesn't help.
off the textbooks and everything.
They prove that these kids that know all this stuff that do well in the standardized testing are no better in the world at all than some kid who doesn't. The standardized testing, it needs to be stopped. It just needs to be stopped. I
just read an article.
I tested horribly. I made more money last year than my dad ever made. Ever. And my dad was really
Yeah,
smart.
but you would be getting into entertainment it's like 1%. It's very rare.
But
Most kids across the country that failed standardized testing they're living on Skid Row downtown.
But they've also been told that because they failed at standardized testing, they can't do anything.
Well,
And I think that's where we have the problem, is that those tests put you in a box. And once those tests put you in a box, you're pretty much set for life. You tell a kid, by the way, you're an idiot, that kid's an idiot the rest of his life.
And I'm not necessarily totally 1,000% against like testing like that, but the fact
No,
that these
a
tests,
normal math
the
test.
fact that they're not being created by teachers is a huge problem. Like the teachers are the ones that are trained to do this job, and yet over 50% of the tests being given aren't created by teachers, and that's just a huge issue. You wonder why we're failing in education in this country.
In Silicon Valley, my brother was complaining. My brother Dave was pitching one day because he was living up with his mom in Fremont, California, East Bay. And one day he just starts ranting and raving about so many Indians have come into our country, and so many Asians have come into the country in Silicon Valley. And so I started doing some research into why. The reason is because Americans aren't fucking smart enough for the jobs, because these other countries are kicking ass and we're not. But our government doesn't bring that up. You know, America, number one. We're the America. Now that we have freedom and stuff is great, but we have forgotten that we're the big fat bloated kid who won the championship 10 years in a row, and now it's 11th year, and we still think we're badass, and we weigh 450 pounds, and we didn't train this year. We've turned into Ronda Rousey in our last fight.
Yeah,
That was sweet.
she got
Oh, you want to talk big now, huh, Bird? Let's see you go down.
And then we saw How on TV, and she was great.
She's super nice.
Like a champion. You're like,
Talk
oh,
about
okay.
a real role model for women. You
Yeah,
know?
right?
You don't have to be a dick to be a great female role model. I mean, to be a great, strong, powerful
or a male
woman.
champion. You look
She's
at all
great.
the best. Look at the best male champions. They weren't dicks. They were cool. They did their job.
Humility.
Yeah.
They should try it sometime. It used to be really important.
And that's what in America. That's what we don't have anymore.
No.
We don't have humility in America anymore, and we think we're number one. We're getting our ass kicked education. We're getting our ass kicked manufacturing wise. We're getting our ass kicked when it comes to trade. And we keep giving it away. So this is my conservative side. See, I'm such a weird.
he's gonna get some conservative now.
I'm in the middle, man. I'm just trying to listen. I don't know how you can just see the fact in front of you and pick a side.
Where's my bald kitty? I need to stroke him.
I'm a villain now.
No, I am.
You are.
I've turned you into a conservative.
I've always said I used to vote Republican. You know who changed me? Republicans. Fucking Republicans made me go. I'm
Breaking
not voting for these
news:
idiots.
ACLU sues.
And now from
No.
seat.
No.
You guys are so stupid.
What?
Breaking news, ACLU sues Indiana governor for halting Syrian refugee resettlement program. That just popped up.
So the ACLU is now stupid enough to actually sue a state who has no jurisdiction
The
at
governor.
all. Wait, the states have no jurisdiction at all over Syrian immigration. That's a federal issue. You fucking idiots.
And
wow.
here-
It just goes to show that we got idiots across the board. That's great.
And I did just want to go back to this. 'Cause
Idiots
this was,
left to right.
This was where I was headed earlier. When you said Texas shooting, I think it was in Texas, I searched. And like I said, 4 shootings came up, all in October 2015. 4 different ones that I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that one, and I forgot about that one, I forgot about the one that you said didn't come up. That's 4 that weren't. I found the one that you're talking about by typing in Texas shooting a shooting camp. I started to type in campsite, and 3 military bases, Camp Lejeune, Camp Pendleton, and one other popped up. You know how Google will finish your searches?
Right.
Shooting in Camp Lejeune, shooting in Camp. So if you want to know if we have a problem, type in your Google search bar shooting, and then type any letter and see how many times Google finishes it for you with different shootings.
And again, it happens. A big one happens, and it needs to be a big one now.
And this one did happen. You're right. This guy hung out with these people and then took him in the woods and shot him, including their 6-year-old boy. All the people. He killed them all. One lady survived. She watched her husband because she was running and he was running. He tripped over the steps of the camper and the dude shot him too.
And where was this media coverage? Oh, wait, there wasn't any. Like, it's so sad. But it's not. But because it's so oversaturated now, it's not a hot topic for CNN or for MSNBC or any of these places. They're not going to get advertising revenue.
No, it's what I say all the time, that your daughter turns around and goes, oh, was there another shooting? And then goes back to eating her cereal.
Right.
That's what we live in now. Your son says, oh, we've got these, just randomly throwing, oh, well, there's this door on the outside of our classroom door that locks, and it's got an extra thing, and that's for in case of shootings. We have those. And then he just goes back to play. Like, this is what they think is normal. We never knew any of that.
What the fuck, man? Like, you know, there comes a point where I am losing faith in everything. A guy sat down with some people on vacation, broke bread with them, and then got up and shot them all. At this point, I don't have any faith in human beings anymore, man. I start to get, like, I'm bummed out right now. Like, I don't have there's no upside. Like, between what's going on with ISIS, what's going on in our country, and then you got the assholes on the other side are just going, no, there's no problem. Everyone should have a gun. Do you know there's a law that the NRA helped get through that basically you can be, that if you're on the terrorist watch list, you still have the legal right by the Second Amendment to get a gun? If you're on the terrorist watch list, you can still go buy a gun. Does anyone else out there listening, there's 14 of you that do listen, does
We
anyone...
have way more listeners
I
than that.
know we're kicking ass, but I'm just saying that does anyone else out there have the common sense to just know this shit is crazy? Every once in a while I'll get some weird tweet from some dude be like, Titus, you know, fucking gun thing is bullshit. And they'll send me a bunch of these made up, we're going to start calling them Trump stats. Because from now on, they're just called Trump stats. Because they're made up, they're fucking imaginary, they have nothing to do with reality, and they're not even
200%.
connected. They're not, 200%. 200 out of the 200% of American people, 180% were shot by black people. What? What, president? Fucking president. All right, guys, I'm bummed out. I have nowhere to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over
To me, to talk about who brought you this episode.
in this really dark, weird, scary, upsetting, depressing episode of The Titus Show. But you know what, though? I know you're sitting there somewhere and you're thinking, hey, you know what? Hey, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't want to know that.
This episode brought to you by, first of all, Casper.com. Love this company. We've tried this product. Even my brother has one, loves it. Everything is... Oh, I forgot Feedy has one. How long have you... Okay, so Casper.com...
It's a month and a half now, right?
Yes.
If you don't know what this is, it's a mattress. It's an amazingly engineered mattress. It's made in America. They actually do it by combining premium latex foam with memory foam, which sounds pretty awesome. Anytime
confirm.
someone says memory foam, I'm like, oh.
I know. If you've slept on a memory foam mattress, people, you
Man.
actually want to get home from vacation. They make you.
Oh, no. It's ruined my life. It's actually ruined my
Mine
life.
too.
It's not a bed. It's a relationship.
You and I get in bed sometimes, and it's like, and we both go,
Oh, yeah. You go to a hotel and it's not one of these mattresses. And it is because you don't realize when you sleep on your side on a regular mattress with springs, it pushes everything up, right? So if your shoulder's being pushed
Yeah,
up,
it does.
then then your head is cranking down. But in a memory foam mattress, you sink into it and it supports you everywhere. That's why, like, my brother has said no more back problems ever since he got on this Casper
and
mattress.
he complained a lot.
Oh, my gosh. He was, every time we were with him,
So, Feedy, you got the Casper mattress. How long has it been now? A couple months?
About a month and a half now.
And how's it going?
We are in a happy relationship.
Yeah.
good. What size did you get?
I got a full.
Expecting company.
Always.
Gonna do some bed stuff.
Some Casper bed stuff.
Casper bed stuff. There you go.
Okay.
The best, by the way, Casper, the best place to do bed stuff. There you go. That's the
And hand stuff.
And hand stuff, but let's not go there.
So coolest thing about Casper, and then I want to hear from you, is that it's risk-free.
It's risk-free.
It's risk-free.
It's risk-free.
So what you got to lose, man? That's what I'm saying. You get it. They deliver it for free, which is just makes Feedy so excited. Free delivery. If you don't like it, you have 100 days. And if you don't like it, tell them they'll come pick it up for free and take it away. And hopefully give it to people in Skid Row in Los Angeles. Suddenly, homelessness is not so bad.
Just really happy homeless people to wake up and go, I feel good.
I was going mattress shopping, and I felt like I was being exploited by these mattress salesmen. Yeah. And so I decided to, check out Casper. And the free shipping, obviously, I'm a massive fan of that. Someone offers me free shipping, and I'm all about that.
You are a free shipping whore. You
Yeah.
really
yeah.
are, dude.
Oh, yeah. You put out with free shipping.
You're in.
You're in. So the other thing that sold me is that 100-day free trial. Mm-hmm. So I was so pumped that I could just try it. And if it was bad, then I could send it back. But all I had to do was lay down in it once, and I actually just made this sound.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is the best.
That's their whole commercial right there. Also, guys, Harry's.com. So
let me just say that if you want to get this, go to Casper.com/Titus, and you use promo code Titus to get $50 off. So a twin is $500. You'll get a twin size for $450. Fetus, you paid $700 for
Yes,
it.
I did.
So use promo code Titus to get $50 off.
Okay, so also, guys, Harry's just sent me Harry's also one of the sponsors of the podcast, which is weird. It's things we use. So Harry sent us
You can't talk about the new thing until next week.
I can't. Oh, there's a new thing. We got sent something really. I got sent something really cool.
It's not time yet. This is giving you time to try it.
All right, guys.
And then
Wait,
you
why
guys-
is he trying it? He
You
doesn't
guys,
need it.
you
I got
guys
it, too.
know. You guys know Harry's. I know because I'm not a Sasquatch, and hair doesn't just pour out of my face like it does
Well,
yours.
so the first thing, not the special thing, the other thing, but the first thing you can talk about because we've already gotten that before and we've already used it before.
Right.
So you can talk about that.
But I got a new one. Well, yeah, but they updated the new razor handle. It's really classier now. It was always good, but honestly, people, I'm gonna tell you this: go if you're a dude and you shave, go to Harry's.com. It's for like $10. You use promo code Titus, right?
Yep.
Okay, it's usually $15. You use promo code Titus. It's $10, no shipping, and they send you this thing when you get it. You're like, you feel almost like there's a trick because I opened it again. I got my new one, and I opened it. I was like, every time I open it, I go, there's stuff here. There's gel or cream, and then there's there's 2 blades plus there's already a blade in the razor, so it's 3 blades. You know what 3 blades cost at fucking CVS?
Too much.
Way, man, and you got to.
Are you using Harry's as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the reason people keep advertising with us is because Fetus keeps using our promo code.
Yeah, he's using all that.
So you haven't even seen the new stuff, but it's
No,
super
I
cool. We're going to be talking about it, but we love Harry's. We love it because they bought the factory in Germany, and you get to do your German accent sometimes.
We own the factory, and everything we make is perfect. The razor blades are perfect down to the nanomillimeter. You will shave so close, you will think you are being snuggled by air. That's how it is.
So here's how bad it is yesterday.
Harry's.com! For God's sakes, go there.
Yesterday, we came off the road and we had these things there waiting for us. And I start selling my mom on it. I'm like, look, here's the thing. It's Christmas time. This is $10. Look at this. And so she sits down next to me and she says, well, how come I didn't get one? Don't they know I'm here too? And I'm like, nobody
use
cares.
promo code
Let's move
Titus,
on. Yeah,
Mom. Just
exactly.
moving on. Go to the computer.
So she did. She starts looking at all the stuff that you get, and she said, for $10, I can get this. And I said, yeah. And so she's going to get it for my stepdad.
And again, guys, Christmas is coming. Here's the deal. Order 3 or 4 of them for $30, $20. You get a couple of them. You wrap them, just wrap them, and put them aside. Because you always have that friend. You have 2 friends that come over, right? And then they always bring the third friend who you don't. Maybe you
don't rub it in. That's 3 friends.
I know.
I'm always third wheeling, man.
High expectations.
And you want to have, and you got presents for everybody else, and that guy shows up, and he's just standing there. But
You grab a bar of soap in your bathroom, I got this for you,
dude. Yeah, we got the. Yeah, it said you just go $10. Boom, here you go. Dude.
I actually am.
When you open it, it's kick ass.
It actually, I know this sounds so stupid, but us having this conversation yesterday sold me on it, and I actually am getting them for people for Christmas.
Good. Now we've now heard all the
promo
products
code
that
Titus,
we believe in.
$5 off your first order.
And now from sea to shining sea. Sea to shining sea? Wow, I've lost the ability to speak English. From sea to shining sea, ocean to ocean, continent to continent, and sometime I said sea to shining sea and ocean to ocean.
Well, it is ocean to ocean.
I know, but then sea to oceans and seas are 2 different things. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, you can say it.
Okay,
It's okay.
here's Bombshell Rae with the Bombshell News.
You could be talking about different seas and different oceans. It doesn't matter.
That's seas and oceans.
You could be the Baltic and the
You know
Mediterranean.
what? I do have a Baltic. It's weird. I need to get that checked. I do have a Baltic. I don't know what it is. I'm walking in it. I don't know what that is. And I have a left Baltic. Actually.
Like 2 Qs.
Yeah, I do. It's just my left side. I have a weird left.
Do you know
ball.
what's funny when you said Baltic? So you meant, and I was actually first thinking about a tick, like how people they jerk and their eyes blink.
Or
Weren't
a
you? Is that what you
or
were
a
thinking?
small bug
like
that
his
bores
left
into your
ball
balls.
just makes a hard right every once in a while,
I got
or a small bug.
I got a Baltic, and my left nut has Lyme disease.
Ew.
It doesn't. It does. It's good for margaritas though, because it's Lyme disease.
Too bad it's not kiwi disease, because that's more accurate. Guy steals beer
No,
truck.
it's not. Thanks to Harry's.
Guy steals beer truck in Georgia and runs himself over with it.
So
Hey, this is in Columbus, Georgia. This is where I graduated high school. Nothing ever happens there. Police responded to a Circle K in Columbus. They responded a couple times when I lived there, too. After getting a report of a stolen 18-wheeler Coors Light semi, the truck's driver had left it running when he ran into the Circle K. This dude, Gregory Miller, thank God I don't know him, stole it and caught up with him at a nearby Bojangles. These are things you don't hear very often.
But that's exactly what you hear if you live in the South. That's exactly. I literally know this road.
What's a Bojangles?
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Get you
man.
some chicken and biscuits.
You ready for the most racist chicken place in the world? It's called Bojangles Chicken. Bojangles Chicken in the South. Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that weird? I never.
Yeah, there was a restaurant that it was like Denny's used to be called Sambo's. And they finally changed the name because there was a big protest against it. But Bojangles is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's fine. It's good fried chicken. White people like fried chicken too.
But Bojangles was a guy.
I mean, not me, because I don't eat it.
Mr. Bojangles was a tap dancer, a black man, or a white guy with
Maybe
blackface.
he founded the chicken place.
Okay, then. I'm not offended.
Entrepreneur.
Maybe
Not-
they named it
Hey,
after him because they loved him and he ate their tasty chicken.
I'm not saying I'm mad. I'm just saying that some people maybe need to protest everything across the board.
yeah, they
instead
should
of just-
protest that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's spend more time protesting PC bullshit.
No red cups.
Anyway, the dude jumped out of the truck because he got skirt at the
War against
Bojangles
Christmas.
because
Yep.
the cops were coming,
Yep.
and the truck ran over him. So there you go. He was
Wait.
taken to the hospital.
How did he run himself with
Broken
his own
legs.
truck?
Oh, he's not
It wasn't
dead.
his own truck. He stole it.
Right, but he got out of it and didn't put it in parking brake, and he just ran in front of it.
He
And ran him
doesn't.
over?
He's not. What? He's not a professional. He's a thief. Maybe he doesn't know how to park it. I don't know. He
So
opened
tried-
the cab while it was probably still rolling.
So panicked, jumped out, it got sucked under it, and got run over by his own beer truck. Wow.
Broke his legs.
See, alcohol kills.
It wasn't his beer truck. How many times I gotta tell you?
Well, alcohol does kill, though.
It does.
It's not good for your health, as we shown by the guy who was run over by a bear truck.
Especially beer.
You should just stop alcohol from coming in the country then.
Hey,
I
do you
think so.
remember that clock kid? Turns out he is a terrorist. Remember the kid that built the clock?
Yeah. Can I ask you something before you tell me the story? So this kid builds this clock that looks like a bomb. His teacher calls the cops. The cops come interview the kid. They confiscate the bomb. They interview the kid. Then the kid gets a scholarship with his whole family, and they move to like Damascus or something. So he is a terrorist.
Oh, I was just going to say it's a terrorist because they're now suing the city for $15 million.
He moved out of the country.
Extortionist.
They're moving. Why are they? What? I'm sorry. Why are they suing for $15 million?
Probably because of pain and suffering.
He got a scholarship.
You got to meet the president.
He got to meet the president, and he got a scholarship. That's not pain and suffering. That's like 200,000 Twitter followers. What are you talking about?
He's suffering. You don't understand.
That's some bullshit. It's great. I love that these immigrants came from other countries where if they'd have tried to sue the president, they would have just been beheaded at a soccer game. But they come to America, pissed off at America, and then America does something stupid. Granted, it's a bomb. But then they adopt all of Americans' ways instantly and become the douchebag Americans who sues because some teacher was an idiot.
I got to give them credit for trying to assimilate themselves in American culture.
Trying to be an American.
They're trying to be an American.
If the kid would gain 300 pounds, my God, we could
just
take him to a monster truck pull. Go ahead.
Okay, good. We can move on.
That was a bit of a dual rant.
There's a toy now that transforms your phone into a vibrator. So
Where is this?
Eyes.
What is this?
Look at his eyes. Why are you?
No, this is just annoying me.
What are you doing? What is he doing?
He's just don't touch things on my desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you've ever imagined using the same device to get you off that you used to call your mom, then there's a new accessory that's going to turn your phone into a vibrator. It's the world's first sex toy, which uses the vibrations of your smartphone.
And if you use promo code Titus...
No.
No? We're not doing... That's not us? Okay,
No.
Sorry.
Free shipping.
It's gone viral, obviously. It's super popular.
So you just basically put a little... didn't your grandma do this? Didn't your grandma have this on her
Oh,
phone?
my gosh.
What?
Oh, my gosh.
What?
That you can't say that.
The story you said that she said she used a vibrator in church.
Whoa.
That's what she calls putting her phone on vibrate.
Oh, so to turn the ringer off.
Yeah, I called her when she first got her phone, and she called me. She said, "I'm sorry I didn't answer, but I was using my vibrator." And I said, "Whoa, whoa, Granny."
We're not that close, Grandma.
She said, "I always use it in church." And I was like,
Oh, I met her.
Yeah, you did meet. You drove her around.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yeah, well,
I-
she used her vibrator
in church.
church.
So there you go.
Took me quite a while to realize what she meant. Long after I had hung up with her,
This doesn't surprise me at all.
to know that she meant I just thought we were sharing too much, which old people do. They share a lot more.
Yeah.
No, Grandma does not have this device.
Can you? So you add it to your
freaky
phone.
creep.
You add it to your phone. I'm not a freaky
It's like a
creep.
case.
Is there an app that comes with it?
Wait, it's a case that
Yeah,
goes on the
see,
phone.
it's a case, and then it's got a dildo thing on the end, and then it vibrates. It's pretty conspicuous. I'm just saying. If
I'm
you have it
really-
on your phone, people are going to know it.
There's a market for everything.
I'm really glad that again, we're not spending the millions it took to develop that to help the veterans.
Fook dat bitch is mad because Facebook has banned him from having an account.
FUQ.
He's PHUC, fuck that bitch. He's a 23-year-old Vietnamese Australian. He's had his Facebook profile shut down multiple times over accusations that he's using a fake name.
Is it his real name?
Fuck that bitch, yeah.
But it's his real name.
No, it's his real name. He's got his passport.
I had a buddy when I worked in when I worked the warehouse. I had a buddy named Duck Win. Was his name Duck Win? I mean, you know, and I would call him Duck all day long, and he would just answer, and it made me laugh like crazy. Duck Win.
Well, fuck that bitch. If you ever meet him, I don't know. He can marry. I don't know. I don't know that bitch. There's women that are knitting adorable sweaters to keep rescued chickens warm, which I think this story, we haven't heard from our douche correspondent in a long time, Ashley Cashman, but she has chickens, and this made me think of her.
In the arms of an angel.
A mother and daughter team in Cornwall,
I
England.
want to see that commercial with the chickens, just getting rescue chickens being saved. Sarah McLachlan singing in the background. By the way, these chickens were found in a bucket. They were cold, featherless, and homeless. By sending 80 cents a day, you too can save another rescue chicken. Good ending. Thanks for wrapping it up.
I was trying to give you a closer. A mother and daughter team in Cornwall, England have started knitting and selling sweaters for rescued battery chickens. They spend most of their lives laying eggs in cramped cages. They're donating the proceeds to an AIDS orphanage in South Africa. So it's kind of sweet. It goes both ways. The sweaters are not just adorable, she says, but they also help the birds acclimate to normal weather conditions because they've been locked in these cages for so long just for their eggs. Go vegan, please. I think more you guys should see the picture.
Wait a minute. Yeah, can you? We will post a picture. She's laughing too hard on my Facebook. Christopher Titus, the real Christopher Titus. We will post a picture of the chicken wearing sweaters.
She said the chickens absolutely love them, and the great thing is that they didn't make them all the same pattern or print or color. And these chickens are all lined up on a fence, and some of them look like straight ghetto. Like they're like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Let me see. Flip
they're
it
in all kinds of sweaters. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's like a lineup. It's
like a bunch of chickens hanging out in an alley, waiting to do some business, and another gang of chickens gonna come by and do a drive-by.
The usual cluck specks.
Yeah. Oh, he said the usual cluck specks.
Look how cute.
Did you hear what he said?
What did he say?
He did. Oh, it's the usual.
He
cluck
speaks
specks.
on a frequency that I've tuned out, I think.
The usual cluck specks. Instead of suspects, cluck specks.
All right.
She made a sour look. It was a nice try. Hey.
It was
Pretty good.
growing
It was
up.
pretty good.
Look at you.
Look at you with your own ideas.
Look, who's a big boy?
He hates us.
Who's a big boy?
Usual cluck specks. Boom! He had to drop the mic. He dropped the fucking mic.
That's comedy level 1. That's
drop-
when you insert.
Just drop the mic and walk out. Usual cluck specks. Boom! No, you can stay on the mic. I'm just saying, you should have left us some Chris Rock attitude on that. I'm out, bitches.
Put some stank on it.
Usual cluck specks.
Comedy, it's the first level. It's when you take a word that sounds like another word and you insert it for comedy.
It's a dad joke.
It usually makes it's a dad joke. It'll make other comedians laugh at you.
It's a good dad joke.
It's a very cute dad. I like it.
Yeah.
Usual cluck specks. Well,
When you said it, it made me laugh again. Because you said it analytically, like a professor analyzed the paper someone turned in. Usual cluck specks. Interesting. It's a nice insight.
A B-.
Yeah.
I say valiant effort.
Okay, good. All right, moving on.
Anyway, so she's raising money. They're sending the money because people buy the sweaters for these rogue chickens to keep. They're acclimating right now
And they don't send the money to save more chickens. They send it to somewhere else.
to an orphanage in South. I feel like they're a little confused. Their
Yeah.
mission statement they need to
It's
redefine.
all over the place.
It's these chicks in Cornwall.
We're
What
saving-
else do they have to
We're
do?
saving
I don't know.
these chicken. Oh, here's what we do. We started knitting sweaters for chickens. I know it sounds a bit daft, but you know what we do? Once we sell them, we don't use the money to make more sweaters. We send it to starving children in Africa.
What?
You know why? Because we tried to send sweaters to Africa to the starving children, but turns out Africa is quite hot. So we thought, what if we cut these big sweaters up and put them on chickens?
So when I eat at Bojangles, do I get the sweater that my chicken came from?
There you go.
The free sweater.
Yo, by the way, with your order, you're gonna get a chicken sweater.
I am actually putting the picture of the chickens right now on the Titus Podcast Facebook page for everyone to see because it's my favorite.
People who see this before they actually listen to the podcast are going to be so confused.
What is going on?
It's my favorite.
All right, go ahead. What's next? Do one more.
I don't know. What do you want? A Florida man robbed a convenience store in a Darth Vader costume.
That's an old story.
Winner of Mr. Ugly pageant is accused of not being ugly enough. They're throwing down, actually, over this ugly pageant. Pageant judges have crowned a new winner of Zimbabwe's 4th annual Mr. Ugly contest. We've actually heard about this contest before.
I think we've talked about it before.
It has upset supporters. They're rioting because there was a crowd favorite. I guess people probably bet on it. He was called, the crowd favorite did not win. He calls the winner too handsome and has prompted a riot at the event, a full-blown riot. Judges on Saturday.
What country is this?
Zimbabwe.
Because Zimbabwe doesn't have enough problems. They've solved all the Zimbabwe problems, all the hunger, all the tribal wars, and now they're rioting over a who's too ugly contest.
It's sort of like we have all these.
I know, I get.
I was
It's
just
sort
about
of
to say
like
that.
we have all these homeless people and babies starving to death and mass shootings, and Kim Kardashian put out a selfie book called Selfish. So it's sort of like that. If Zimbabwe happens to look on our news and they see that she's selling it just in time for Christmas, a picture of just her on every page that she took herself, you can pay $39.95 for that. They're probably like, oh, don't they have people dying of hunger? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So anyway, the crowd favorite dude.
It's good to see that human beings are dumb as shit across the world. It really makes me happy. At least it's not just us.
The crowd favorite guy is saying that this guy that won, it's not fair because his ugliness is not natural since it's based on missing teeth. He's citing reasons.
He's not.
I am much uglier.
I'm genetically uglier than that dude. That dude got in a motorcycle accident, and that doesn't count. He should be like, that guy lost his arm in
Full-blown fighting.
in a weird sausage making accident, and I believe it doesn't count. That's an addition.
Ugly's only skin deep, man.
Yeah, right.
Lots of scandal there for their pageants, apparently. Happens a lot. They have a lot of beauty pageants in Zimbabwe.
What if the guy who wins gets laid more?
What?
Yeah, the winner. You know, the winner. They were like, "Man, you're going to get so much pussy after this. You win the contest every year, man."
He's Jamaican.
Look, man. Listen. Okay, I'll do a Zimbabwe accent. Look, you are going to get many people to sleep with you after
Oh man,
this.
that guy's.
I think he wins. I'm looking at the picture right now, and if that guy's too handsome, I'd like to see the competitor that's angry. I would like to see the competitor that's.
He
very
actually has 2 bottom teeth that are approximately 7 inches long.
upset.
I would say that's natural.
Yeah.
Naturally ugly.
Mm-hmm. I think he wins. I don't care. I would as a judge, I would like to, if I'm going to be the tiebreaker, I would be like, no, maybe we picked the right guy.
I'm also putting that picture on Titus podcast page on Facebook just for people to see. I like to share this.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Do me a favor. Go to iTunes and review the Titus podcast. Give us a little Christmas present. Tell us what you think. The more reviews we get, the better it is for us. Also, if you're going to start ordering Christmas present, I want you to go to ChristopherTitus.com. Make it your home page. You can see what we're talking about. There's some updates coming up, but I want you to click through the Amazon link when you order Christmas presents. Helps keep the podcast doors open. I really appreciate it. Keeps the Combustion Lounge, the lights on. Let's just be honest. I also want you to go, if you want to get some comedy, go to ChristopherTitus.com, get all the discs. We are going to have a Christmas special on Black Friday. We're going to give you all the discs. Do you know what we're doing? We talked about this, right?
You texted me and mentioned it in a half sentence. So
okay.
No.
So usually the box set would be like $60 and then $20 for the next 2. So all 6 would have cost you $100. For Friday only. Friday
through Monday, you said.
Friday through Monday. You'll be able to get all the box set plus Voice in My Head and Anger Pursuit. You'll be able to get the whole thing for $70.
Yes.
$70.
I thought it was going to be AE.
No, 70. Right. It only was 3 days. Only 3 days.
You changed it.
I want to be nice to my people.
It's going to be for everything, right? Like, you're going to get all 6.
Right, 6 this year.
Instead of 120, it's going to be...
Not 120, no. It's on the
usually
website,
like-
60 on the website, plus
It's usually like
60, 80, 100, or 6 usually.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be 70. You can save $30.
That's crazy.
That's right, but it's only 3 days. I'm not going to go crazy.
All right.
Have you finished your chicken sweater yet?
I'm busy.
Follow me on Facebook at The Real Christopher Titus. Also, follow us on Twitter at Titus Nation, at Ray Ray Bradley, and
At the Ryan Farmer.
people have started to actually worry about you a little bit around her because they're a little concerned that she's a
I'm
little hard.
fine-ish.
Nobody asked you.
That's exactly the right answer. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Have a great week, and we will talk to you in a couple of days. For myself, Bombshell Rae, and the fetus. Later.
Peace out.
See ya.
He's getting more comfortable.
It's too comfortable.
I know. It bothers you. I can tell it bothers you. Your eye twitches when he talks.
We need to put him in a playpen and set him outside for a while.
I'm in.